I remember distinctly one time I was in Jamaica. I was a kid. I had to be under 10, young kid. I was watching TV. I was very into TV. And I was in the living room into something, and my mom was calling me. I wasn't talking to nobody. I was watching TV. And she called me clearly more times than she would prefer. And she came in that living room. When I tell you, I got knocked off that chair. And I was like, and to this day, I remember that. Now, that had to be 30 years ago.
Yep.
But I remember because it was like, when I call you, don't tell me what you doing. I don't care what you doing. What? It doesn't matter. Like,
yep.
So it's so funny and interesting to me. It's like, you know, and I love the evolution, but I'm also like, wow.
Yep.
Things change so quickly. Like, wow, we telling the kids, we waiting on the kids to finish talking.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yep.
Again, well, my child is 4. And she said to me the other day, I called her 4. I called her and she was in the guest room and I'm in the living room. I was like, Elizabeth, she's not answered. Elizabeth, she's not answered. I called her 3 times and I see her rolling her eyes, rolling her little hips, walking towards me. So I was like, you didn't hear me calling you? She goes, but I was coming. Why did I answer?
Oop. Call our father. Him need to deal with that. Yeah. Where's the father? Where's the father?
And she is 4. She said, but I was coming. And then her daddy in the corner going, she has a valid point. I'm like, if you ever said that loud, let her hear you, I swear to you, we fight it. Like, what you
But that's a part of communicating, though, which is what I tell my children, because they would say that all the time. I'm coming. Like, they won't say I'm coming, and I'm like, where are you? And they're like, I'm right here. I'm on my way. I'm like, you need to communicate. That's the only way I can know. I can't see you. I can't.
I'm gonna need a yes,
something.
Yes.
You better respond.
Communicate. Yes, you're coming. That's fine.
Come. For her dad, I think he was just more impressed the fact that she was able to say that. Like,
right.
I was coming, which is why I didn't answer. You know, and not that he was agreeing with what she was saying. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was very impressed too. But child, if you're starting that at 4, we got a problem. That means you have enough sense to know you best answer me.
Right.
Okay.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
I was coming, so I didn't feel like answering.
So much has definitely changed since we were young, though, because I remember getting beaten for not knowing my multiplication table. So
enough times.
No, well, not enough time. That only happened to me once, and I learned my lesson very, very, very quickly.
Enough times.
Very quickly, because my parents never used to beat me on a regular basis. Like if it was and it wasn't even my father, my mother used to beat me. And if it was like, I think it was more out of like fear of my safety than anything else. Like I told you not to go by that person, I'd beaten. Where were you? Coming at 10 p.m. No, not 10 p.m. but outside of regular hours, beaten. But not like you're talking out a turn, beaten, or you never put it on. It's nothing stupid, just those kind of things. So when my teacher beat me for multiplication, not again. That learned quick, and I still don't know why, because I still don't know my multiplication table all now. So I don't know what the purpose of that was, but
why I was getting beat to learn this.
I guess it was to pass common entrance, because I just aged myself. I don't even think whatever came after common entrance not even existing anymore. So
mercy.
Wow.
But still. It has changed so much, because you can't even talk to them too hard. Not even too hard. You have to allow them to express themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
So I mean, it's good and bad, because I can't imagine that beating the kids at school for having a bad day or whatever is the reason you used to beat kids at school can be any good. But also there is that like line, because no picnic can beat up teacher, and that sounds crazy.
Right, now that's the line. Because if we fighting, and I feel like, okay, it's fair game. Okay, all right. Like, right? Like, I'm also not gonna take a beating from a kid. Like, where is the line? Like, he gotta learn how to fight. Not on me. He's not gonna learn how to fight with me.
Not on me.
I
hear that. I hear that completely.
No,
but we gotta have where the middle ground is, but there needs to be a middle ground. Like,
I agree.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
For kids to give some deference to an adult, and I think it's okay for them to know it's an adult. Doesn't mean they're better than you or you don't get to have a say, but there's a reason. And same here, as adults, we know who are elders and elders, and in our culture, there's a lot of respect.
Right.
Yes.
For age, and I think that's okay, but we take it too far. So I think
it's necessary, and I don't know that we take it far enough sometimes. Like, I think there's certain places where I think, you know, young people, younger generations don't respect their elders, and I wonder, you know, the role that a certain level of freedom allows, right? Like, not being respectful to grandparents and really valuing their life experience and the fact that you exist because they exist, right? Like, I don't see that value in younger generations. And I wonder, what have we given up when you allow too much freedom sometimes?
Yes. Yeah, so, I think there's a space where there is such a thing as deference. You know, I don't think it means totally seen and not heard, but I don't think it means fair game, right? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I think for me, based on my observation, a lot of it is we try to make it easier, just speaking as a parent, try to make it easier for our kids to live this life. And the easier it gets for them, the easier they think it was for previous generations. That's why the Jamaicans say we used to walk to school uphill both ways, in snow, in sleet, in whatever. Not that they did that, but you have to understand what they went through for you to get here. When your life is easy, you think everybody's life easy, and we are complaining about why I have to respect you. What did you do? Like, there is no respect for past journeys when your journey is just easy. I mean, if it's easy, then what I got to respect you for? You're doing it just like I'm doing it. So I think that's a large part of it. I mean, you want to be able to have healthy humans, but you also want them to understand that there is a journey there. There was work that put in to give you the freedoms to be able. Same for me. I know that what my parents, my grandparents before that, what they put in was hard work to make it easier for me, because my journey is easier. It might not be as easier as somebody else, but it's easier than what they did, a lot easier. And I don't take that for granted. And passing that down, you know, a lot of people, it's harder. It gets watered down as it goes further down in the generations. You don't realize how much work you put in, and people explain it to you, but I don't know. I mean, what do they do? You don't really feel it as it goes further down in the generation. So I think that has a lot to do with it, more than being free to be who they are or what they are saying, or all of that comes with all of the freedom of just having a lot. They just have a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
So